what do you make of this, Laura? I mean, is it kind of, to see these kinds of stories in the papers, is it damaging the royal family, do you think?
I'm not sure it's damaging the royal family at the moment. I think everyone's already decided what sides they're on. I did watch the documentary this last couple of weeks, and I was surprised. I thought I would take to it worse than I did. I thought it was fairly gentle, actually, as a documentary by and large. But what it has left is the standard family drama that many of us go through, actually. I think you've got two brothers who've fallen out. They have two different versions of the story. One of them wants an apology. The other one is being more stoic. And you've got a big family event coming up, which just happens to be the king's coronation rather than your auntie's wedding. And now they've got to figure out what do they do before they go out in public. Yeah. And, of course, Harry has mentioned in the documentary that he wants an apology. One way to do that might be for them to meet before the coronation. And I think they're going to have to do something because the world is going to be watching at that point.
But hang on a minute. I mean, I can't see how the royal family can apologise because in the case of the lady in waiting, the royal family admits she got it wrong. They're not admitting they've got anything wrong with Harry and Meghan. And you know, it just seems to me that saying, you know, can we have an apology is kind of, you know, sketching out the script for the next series of Netflix documentaries. You know, not only can they have an apology, but they'll probably be asking, can they bring Netflix cameras along? I mean, isn't that really what it's about? It's about trying to keep what is now a rather stale story warm for the Sussexes.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to apologise necessarily. But again, as in a family, when you know that there's not going to be an apology, but you've all got to turn up to a wedding, I think there's just going to have to be something. This royal summit doesn't have to end in everybody being happy, but they probably need to find a way to sit down together in some way.
Do you think that there is a point at which this whole family row, as you've described it, you know, across the papers, on Netflix, in Prince Harry's book, of course, which is due to come out early next year, actually just ends up looking a bit indulgent?
Oh, it definitely did that on the show as well. There were various times when they would say, you know, we went on holiday and it was fabulous and we could spend all of our time together and we didn't want it to end. And I thought that's how literally everybody in a relationship at the end of their first holiday feels. We don't want to go back to real life. But there was never a sense that other people were going through this. Now, I don't know if that was just a decision, because if they had done that, people would say, oh, they're trying to compare themselves to others who are having a difficult time and it's incomparable. So it's hard to know what the script was, but I agree. There were times in that documentary it did look quite self-involved, but I don't think they win either way. And of course that's why the royal family typically don't speak to the press, because there isn't a way, I think, out of this where you get to win and everybody will love you. And there is a sense sometimes that I think Meghan in particular is desperate for sort of the whole world to get on and be in love with their love story, and you may have to accept that's not always possible.
Now the message we've had in from Adrian Jackson in Darlington: read Ginger Whinger and Mimi Markle. They are pathetically personified, combined with nasty narcissism. Time for us to move on and leave them to fester in their self-pity party.